Okay, I want to thank you all for showing up tonight. Tonight is session number 2 in the series that started in 2015. And as promised, there's no repeat. Everything is new, and we'll continue for the rest of the year. So tonight is the first of a pair of sessions that are, as you can see, highly related. So tonight we're going to talk about the biology of mind-body practices, Tai Chi, Qigong, on the body structure and function. And the one next month is on biology of mind-body on the brain. Okay, so body, brain is next month. So if you have any questions related to brain structure, function, neurons, brain function, please withhold your questions until next time, okay? And in May will be a session on natural healing strength from placebo effect to optimizing medical treatments. This is how your body could heal yourself so well, even though you might be taking something that obviously doesn't work, you know, like a sugar pill, and you still get well because you're healing yourself. So this will talk about how your body could do this wonderful thing and how to make the best use of it. Before I continue, how many of you were here in February? Could you raise your hand? Okay, most of you. All right, so I'll quickly. In June, and you can write down these dates. In February, I didn't have the dates, okay? So April 23rd, this is May 7th, and then June 11th is on the biology of energy medicine. Our body puts out energy as heat, light, electricity, and I want to show the research on that, and how one can use medical devices that puts energy in your body as heat, light, and electricity to make you heal and be more healthy. So that is a new date now, June 11th. To be arranged after the summer break with the other sessions. Okay, so if for any reason you really wanted to come but can't because of other obligations, you can see our video camera is recording all of this. Not professional quality, but still YouTube quality. So to access the 15, 16 different talks to date, if you go to the website of this Irvine Chinese School, sccca.org, and then scroll down to the bottom of the page until you see the YouTube icon and click on that. And you will see, many different segments there. Each of these, because they're so long, they're like 2 hours long, they're broken into like 4 or 5 segments. So you can do the math, we've done this 15 times already, times 4 or 5. So there are a lot that you have to, pick through to see what you want to see. Okay, so to get things started, since there are some new people here, just go back to the most basic question. So what is Tai Chi? What is Qigong? Can you see pretty well with these lights on, or is this better?
That's better.
That better, okay, good, all right. So, Qigong Qi means vital energy. Gong means the exercise or the work to improve your vital energy. And then, of course, originated in China. Yoga is like Qigong, but that's from India, so we don't call that Qigong. So, a very quick definition of Qigong is that it's a type of exercise that combines the regulation of the body, breathing, and the mind, all three at the same time. Integrated regulation of these three important parts of your body. And if you do all of this together, and if it's originated or based on things from China, it will qualify as a type of Qigong. But there's always some confusion about Tai Chi. Is Tai Chi Qigong or what's the relationship? Well, Tai Chi and Qigong is like this. Qigong, if you look at this 2,000-year-old painting that was dug up from the Ma Longdui tomb from 2,000 years ago, it shows 44 different figures, in different positions. And we know that these are not dance movements because alongside each of these figures are Chinese characters that we could still read today. So, some of them says this will relieve stress if you do this. This will relieve pain. This will even relieve deafness. And this will relieve fever. So clearly, the concept was there even 2,000 years ago, that if you do certain exercises, it would be very helpful and would mitigate a lot of different disorders. So we now look at this as probably the oldest artifact on what is Qigong back then. You can say that even today, even this minute, somebody could invent a type of exercise as long as it contains the regulation of mind, body, and breathing, and it's based on some kind of Chinese system. They can call it Qigong. So there are countless types of exercises like that that are now grouped into this term Qigong. Now, Tai Chi, is a very, very specific type of exercise that, in this context, belongs to Qigong. Tai Chi started only 200 years ago in the Chan family village in central China. There's a written history of when it got started. Of course, when you look at novels and movies and things out, they say, oh, it's thousands of years old, but there's no written record. Written record says that, it started in Chenjiagao, okay, about 10 generations ago, okay? And it started out as a style of martial arts. As a matter of fact, 2013, the national champion in Wushu tournament, this is like mixed martial arts, competition, sponsored by CCTV. The champion came from Tai Chi, beating out the Shaolin guy, okay? And since 2013, Tai Chi people have dominated this championship. So it's a very effective fighting system. But when it's practiced with controlled body movement and breathing and mental concentration, you can say it's a type of Qigong for health as well. So, as I said, it started in the Chan family village, and now it's referred to Chan style Tai Chi. And 11th generation grandmaster from the village is Grandmaster Chen Zhenwei. Okay, and I have the distinct privilege of training with him for 15 years. And only 3 generations ago, Mr. Yang, his great-great-grandfather, went to the village and learned this and modified and simplified it and became Yang style Tai Chi. And then his grandfather, okay, Mr. Sun, his grandfather, they learned from him, his great-grandfather. So these stem from this, and this is from this. So tonight, my talk is on the original Tai Chi, on Chan style Tai Chi. This is what I teach. This is what I do research on. And so in case there's any confusion, you say, oh, what is he talking about? I learned Yan style Tai Chi, and it doesn't seem to match what he's talking about. Well, yes, this Yang style, particularly then giving rise to these styles, they are essentially highly simplified Tai Chi. When Tai Chi has the yin and the yang in harmony and in balance, this has only the yin. Last month I talked about how there's a little bit of yang in there, but it's nothing like the original style. Okay, so very quickly, perfect balance and harmony of hard and soft, fast and slow, dynamic and static exercises, all rolled together. From the hard comes the soft, from the soft comes the hard, within the hard there is soft, within the soft there is hard. That's the original Tai Chi. Now, we're here to talk about the healthful effects of Tai Chi. On the Harvard Medical School, Harvard Health Publications website, it has this famous saying. It says that, Tai Chi is often described as meditation in motion, but it might as well be called medication in motion because of so much clinical trials, laboratory studies now showing that this type of mind-body practice has value in treating or preventing so many different health problems. This is just a short list of the more well-known benefits of Tai Chi, published in the best of journals like the New England Journal of Medicine. So it could decrease blood pressure, symptoms of fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, arthritis, decreasing falls in the elderly, preventing osteoporosis, lowering bad cholesterol, improve sleep, improve concentration, improve your immune system. So many good things that I could go on for 10 more slides. So tonight I'm going to show you the first half of the research of how Tai Chi could be so beneficial. The effects on the body, bones, muscles, tendons, joints, connective tissues. And next month I'll talk about the effects on the brain, brain cells, and so forth. I could explain why Tai Chi actually is good for all of these things. These conclusions are based on clinical trials comparing people who do Tai Chi and people who don't do Tai Chi for usually 4 months or 6 months, and then they compare. Okay, but how come is what I'm going to tell you. So I will only I will restrict my lecture on regulation of the body. Okay, and leave these two for next month. And I will talk for about an hour, leaving 1 hour to teach you exercises based on what I talk about, so that you can not just learn the theory, but also the practice. So first, let's look at muscles. Okay, why Tai Chi is good for muscles? First, let's talk about how Tai Chi could prevent people from falling down. Okay, falling down, what's the big deal? Well, falling down is a big deal, particularly for the elderly population. It's the leading cause of injury death in the United States. 20,000 people died from falling last year in America. The Center for Disease Control, CDC, estimated 2.5 million non-fatal falls were treated in emergency rooms, involving fractures of the spine, pelvis, hip, arms. As a matter of fact, 1 out of 3 older adults fall once a year. This translates into billions of dollars of medical costs and human suffering. Now, so what can we do about this? This is one of many, many clinical trials doing a direct comparison between one group of people that practiced Tai Chi for 6 months and one group that didn't do Tai Chi for 6 months, okay? And here is the number of falls in this group. You can see that the control group, who did not do Tai Chi, did not really change much in the number of falls in this group. But the group that did Tai Chi had a steady decrease in the incidence of falling, showing that practicing Tai Chi is really effective way of preventing falls in the elderly. These are elderly people, usually defined as people over 60. So my laboratory started studying this particular phenomenon, and we wonder, in terms of muscle function, how doing Tai Chi could be helpful in preventing falls. So we use what is called electromyography, EMG, and we put electrodes on different parts of the body, on different muscle groups, on the upper body, lower leg, upper leg, and so forth. And we can see when the muscle contracts, that muscle puts out an electrical signal. So like this muscle goes, like that, when that muscle contracts. This muscle did not do much, and this muscle did some, okay? So we can measure the magnitude of these signals and get some indication of which muscle is used how much while the person is exercising in which way. So we could study scientifically what's going on when people do this or do that. So you can see here, there are 6 different bars representing measurements done on 6 different muscle groups. So the top muscle, side muscle, and the back muscle, the upper leg, and the same top, side, and back of the lower leg. So you can see by comparison, this is a person just walking normally or even jogging and running, okay? And the level of exercise that you get on each muscle is represented by the height of these bars, so there's 6 different bars. It's quite dramatic compared to Tai Chi, okay? Tai Chi, you don't just walk like this, you do the Tai Chi steps, okay? So if I want to go this way, I kick out, step into it, okay? This side, step into it, this side. So this is called the Tai Chi Ao Bu, twist steps. And, whoa, these bars that are way higher than walking they are the side muscles. These muscles you don't really use much when you walk. But when you progress this way, you do use these muscles. If you just walk like this, you don't use these muscles. The top muscles, okay, when you walk, you don't really use these. But when you do this and step into it, now you're using these muscles, the top and the side. So top and the side muscles are used a lot more than walking. And Tai Chi has many other moves, okay, like, going backwards. Going backwards, the same thing. The side muscles, a side kick, side kick using these muscles, and cross steps, like like these steps. These steps use these side muscles and top muscles. But what's the significance of that? Okay, here's the significance. When I walk and I trip, okay, well, I did not fall because I have strong brakes, like Sasa, okay, I have strong brakes here on the top muscles. I did not fall because I have stabilizers on the side. If these muscles are not strong, you would fall. But if you train them, you would fall less. So it's what happened here? It's a pretty simple conclusion that many of these Tai Chi steps exercise the brakes and the stabilizers. And these are the ones that are most important if you don't want to fall. Then we went on from there, okay? Well, Tai Chi is not just to prevent falls, it's for so many other good things. So we continue to study using the same technology, putting electrodes on muscles and doing different Tai Chi, stances, movements, and so forth. And we end up with this summary. We would say if an exercise is absolutely excellent for that muscle group. So we have 6 muscle groups, okay? This is shoulder, deltoid, okay, chest, oblique on the side, on the back, upper back, okay, arms, lower back, okay, and these are like 20 different exercises, and we want to see, like, first of all, through the back dodges to the right side, which muscle is used how much. If it's a lot, we would put it as red color. Oh, so it's red. If it's very, very good, we say it's orange. Okay, very good. So very excellent, very good. If it's still actually good,